Good morning, everyone. How are you? I've noticed there are some questions already, which is wonderful. And I shall now just turn off the little crawler thingy at the bottom. The music I used is by the wonderful Terry Lee Britton, who is actually in the UK. And he's given us permission to use his beautiful music. I just love it. As the, for lead-ins, lead-outs, whatever way I feel that we can use it. So do share, spread the word that we are live, and it's not a requirement that you have to share to be part of this, the Tuesday mornings with Leanne and I. It's just a lovely gesture if you feel that some others would like to be part of it as well. And I'm hoping I've got all my boxes ticked and everything this time as far as a checklist. It's a mental checklist, though. Have I unmuted both of us? Can you hear me, Leanne?
I can hear you.
Oh,
definitely.
And others, can you hear us out there in the audio? Oh, gosh, yeah. We do have a few hellos already there. Now, I decided I would show our names this morning because it's been a while since I've done that part of what the process of the checklist is. So this one, me, you can see I'm Ros Boundy. I didn't get them mixed up this time. And there's Leanne.
Hey, good morning. I love it.
And how are you this morning, Leanne?
I am good, thank you, honey. It's a little bit cool this morning here in Mount Barker, but I've got my nice woolly socks on, so I'm happy.
It's actually a bit cool here too, and I decided to put, well, it looked like it was going to be a bit sunny, and I thought, well, I'll put a nice not summery, but it is a bit summery. I've just got the singlet shirt type thing under this, that I like the see-through type stuff that goes over like now I've done it the wrong way, lining it up there. I've moved it. I'm dressed. This morning when I got out of bed and was about to do my daily one, I wasn't. But Shaz said, you've got to go and put a shirt on. So I had to, anyway. That was the story of this morning. A very interesting start to my day.
I think
So,
a lot of us are feeling that at the moment. I don't know about you, but I have found probably the last 4 or 5 days it's just been blah sort of thing. So,
oh, well, for myself, a lot of it's self-inflicted, as in not alcohol or anything. I
I was going to
don't
say
do
you
the
parted
drinking
without
stuff.
me.
I'll have a drink occasionally, but no, it wasn't that. It's more the staying up late to join in with some friends, and they're US. So as far as the live streams go, I'm watching Heather Crafter does some art online live, and it's something I'd love to do too. She just does it so easily, and it's lovely to watch. But it starts at 11:30. And the other night there was one that started at the 12:30 soon after hers. So I stayed up till the 1:30 watching that because it was a workshop type. It's just things that we take interest in that hold our attention. You forget what the time is, and then you still do have to catch up with it at some point. But do we ever catch up with that sort of thing or not? Not really.
I don't think we do. And I think the more I sleep, the worse I feel, sort of thing, in trying to catch up.
Yeah,
So,
but this morning, it did catch up with me. I just didn't want to get out of bed. I actually had a fairly strong headache, which I don't usually get. So I was trying to lay in as long as I could, and the friend woke me up.
Yeah. It's interesting you say you had a headache, because that's something I've had is a dull headache for 3 or 4 days. But today, I actually moved yesterday afternoon, and I'm actually wondering if it's to do, because you're not the only intuitive person I've spoken to lately that's having headaches and feeling this tiredness. There's been probably 4 or 5 of us that I can think of that have said the same thing. So is it universal energy? Because I know we are going into, I think Annette called it the Lion's Gate, which is very in heightened energy.
Could be. I haven't done my reading up on stuff that I normally have once upon a time kept up with. I am certainly living more in the flow of just my own energy, and that, of course, is connected to the universal. I know last week I definitely had what I would call a heavy download. It just held me in bed paralyzed. It was just that feeling of I couldn't move, and that was, I don't know which day. That doesn't matter. We receive what we need. So there was something that I was receiving that I needed, and I just go with the flow. When it's needed, it'll pop up, especially in readings and things. So
that's it. It's interesting you said that, I had you in bed with it, because I spent 4 days last week going, I'm dragging my ass around every day. And that's what it felt like. I was dragging myself around. I wasn't going to stop, but I probably needed to. So.
And I'm just thinking, yep, you do need to stop or you'll have a crash, because the universe is going to tell you need that stillness, that silence. And I'm actually always me doing a reading for you.
You're taking on my energy. Well, I tried very hard the last week.
I don't deliberately do this. It's just something's coming in as far as you need to sit in silence. Do it. Yeah. Do it. Yeah.
Do you know what, though? I find it hard to sit in silence. Like, I can still my mind really well. But then if I do it for too long, all of a sudden it's all these ideas come in. Oh, you could write a workshop on this. Oh, you could do this. You could. I'm like, oh, please. Give me a moment.
Yeah, it is a bit the part of doing that, though. I mean, it is where that silence is that opening it up to receiving what you need to actually be thinking of. But it's actually, and it takes practice to train. It does take practice to actually sit in silence and maintain it. It's a hard one to actually describe without the doing. It's something you really need to be doing. So just emphasizing that. And with that factor, it really is for those out there too, needing to actually sit in silence, turn off all your electronic stuff. and whatever is around you that is creating those distractions or whatever, and really trying to create, just even if it's only 5 minutes of a complete silence. It is hard to do, but it's just something that I'm getting. I like silence. I don't automatically turn on a TV in the morning or radio or anything. I just wake up, and I suppose the first thing I do is boil the kettle because I like my coffee. Yeah. So that's part of it. Now, I'm going to drop our names down now because we don't probably need those. They've been there long enough. And that way we can actually start to bring up some of the good mornings, because I know that they'd be, yep, there's a few coming up. I get so far behind. I mean, the purpose, we know the purpose for our show, this one isn't just for readings. It's not because you do have a dedicated show tonight with Annette that's more for readings, isn't it? And tomorrow night where you're a solo operator doing the readings.
Tomorrow night, I'm going to be naughty and I'm not going to be here tomorrow night.
Oh, well,
I feel like a naughty child running, getting up to mischief. So whether I might try and do a show earlier in the day, like late afternoon, I'm actually decided a couple of days ago that I'm going to go to a workshop in Adelaide to do with social media. Yeah, so there's a gentleman. I can't think of his name.
Right. I didn't hear the name. You said something and I thought, I think I took Doviga. Naughty.
Oh, no, I can't think of his name. It's Kerwin or something.
Okay.
Some strange. It's not strange.
You're looking after yourself with your own
I'm going to go and learn.
Yeah. That's good.
So, yeah. So get out,
good
socialise.
Stuff.
Yeah. It's in the city, I know that. I've got to find the rest of the information out before we go.
Excuse me for the itchy nose. It's one of those things I really don't like doing when it's video. But
Spirit's trying to get your attention.
Oh, it is. It's tickling. Definitely. So I think it's probably partly to do with getting on with some of these. So hi, Kylie. And then we have Cheryl. I mean, most of these, anyone who's in the chat stream will actually be able to read these comments and see who is saying hi. It's not something we really have to do, but it's just lovely to actually involve and include people. And yes, there is some requests for some readings, and we've got Jessica here saying good morning as well. I'm trying to sort of move through some that haven't got questions yet. And that's the other thing too. Please remember, if you're on one of the other pages that the cross-posting is to, because I remembered and found out how to do it this morning. I'm hoping it's gone to the right ones.
I didn't even check, actually.
Please. Well, I haven't actually either. My Facebook page, it is open. I don't even know whether this is actually doing it live properly on mytimetv.live. Make sure that's where you are. It's saying there's a video that's live there. It looks like it is ours. Yes, it is. So there we go. It is there. So that's great. We're 66 comments at the moment. Now I'm going to close that so it doesn't distract me, because I've got the comments here in the back end, of course, as we can see with Jessica's. And we've got Jody who's here. Hi to you. Got Sharon Rooney.
Hey, honey.
And thank you for sharing. It is great to see that we can have that function still, that Facebook hasn't taken that away, even though they did the scare tactics around the algorithms and all that sort of BS.
It is. Hey, Natasha.
And Jessica, that music, it really is. I love it. I love how he creates it. I really do. And, there's a few with their questions. Now, that was the other thing, as I was going to mention, make sure you're on the mytimetv.live link to have your questions seen here, your comments and hellos, all of that. It's also, when you're actually asking your questions, can you be specific? And then it means we can move through some of them a bit faster. It's not just to say we want to rush through stuff. It's just that it's a lot easier to do a reading when you've actually got specifics. And then you can get more value out of it by having a decent question around it. Is that right? Is that right, Leanne?
Yeah. Exactly. Definitely.
Yeah.
Oh, Sharon. So sweet.
Oh, did I do that again? Oh, yeah, she's so
No, she said hello the first time.
Yeah. And Jessica,
Hey, Jessica.
I'm just flipping through now because that's what I'm doing. And hi, Mum. I'm recognising Mum now.
Morning, Mum.
And Ashton, I don't think I've seen that. And Emma is saying hi. And there's a few more there. There's Carol. Now, I've already had one from there. So I'll actually move it back. And, how do I unhide? Just like that. Sometimes a memory. So is there anything that it just crossed my mind, is there anything that you're feeling with this energy, Leanne, as far as a direction that it's taking us? What's your actual inner feeling around what's happening? Because we can read so much ourselves of other people's understanding and the rest, but what's your take on it?
My feeling at the moment is just about letting go and, being in the moment, go with the flow, let go of the structures and the old ways at the moment, because I do believe that this year, I want to say this year has been a positive year now. I know a lot of people are going to go, oh my God, it hasn't for me. But I want you to look at that stuff that has been brought up, because it is moving stuff on the soul level. It's stuff that we are forced to let go of that no longer serves a purpose in us. So it's you would have found the first half of the year for a lot of us has been testing and trying in so many different ways. But when we've surrendered to that energy, you're going to find that you're moving forward quite easily. So at the moment, I think we just need to be present in our lives, acknowledge what we are going through, what we are feeling, what we are experiencing. Just breathe, ground ourselves, open our hearts up, and just go with the flow. No expectations. Just let the universe take care of it. What will be, will be. Okay, that's one of my favourite sayings lately. So there's no use fighting it. Okay.
Yeah, sorry. When you said that, what will be, what came into my mind was the old Doris Day song that she used to sing. Okay, Sarah, Sarah, whatever will be, will be. The future's not ours to see. So really, when you're actually doing cards, the future actually isn't ours to see, but I know we're always curious.
Yeah, exactly. And how many of us are always on the run, hectic? There's always something to do, something that needs our attention. Why not just stop for 2 seconds, take a breath, and just breathe, center your energy, and watch how that will change things. Yeah. I
really
think
being more fully.
Yeah. I think if people
fully in the present.
Yeah, I think if people allow themselves to be in that present and just allow the flow, things are going to be so heightened that have that clear picture of what it is you're working towards and wanting, and make sure it is clear and your wording is direct. Mum, I love you, Mum. Mum keeps having conversations. What's my guides doing? I keep saying I want to go. I said it's the wording, Mum. You got to get it right. I told her yes after driving a car. But just have that what you're doing. Don't bring in jumbled stuff into it. Cheryl, yes, that's Kerwin Ray. That's the gentleman I'm going to learn more about.
So where's that one? What time is that? Just so someone can just want to highlight that one. Karen Ray or Kerwin? Karen.
Kerwin. No, that's not it's got a W. It's KER.
That was a tag rather than a.
Down at 10:45. Cheryl just put the correct spelling there, just a little bit further down.
Yes, Kerwin. Yeah, Kerwin Ray. Yeah,
so he sounds interesting. So I think it's at a 3-hour seminar. So I'm going to go and see if he can give me some more ideas. That's the thing. I go to these things and I go, I could put that into use. So
you want more? You actually want more stuff happening for you in your life. It's busy as it is. A good one.
Simplify things to work easier, work smarter, not so harder. So it's getting the right systems in place.
More focus in the right direction.
Yeah, I'm all for the right systems to make my life a little bit easier.
Yeah. Hi, Danita. Oh, look, I've been exploring that all my lifetime, I think. As much as from the rebellious teens to almost into my third trimester of life.
I thought you were going to say trimester of pregnancy then.
No, because and that's you will learn some colourful language. Oh, that sounds good.
Oh, okay. Yep.
I had that found that one up there. Yeah, learned a colourful language.
Oh,
yeah, look,
okay.
I mean, language is what language is, and I think we have slipped in from what used to be an era. And it wasn't that long ago of polite manners and not swearing and things like that. It's just become something that these days it's the second word, nearly every second word is something that's what used to be recognised as a swear word. And I think that it still is. For me, my personal dislike is hearing so much swearing in the general language now, because it's not actually necessary. It doesn't do anything to explain stuff besides say, I don't want to have, basically the one that I really don't like, I suppose, is you don't give a fuck about anything. And that's the word that just does. And that goes back to something as a kid, because I got a horsewhipping because I said that to my dad.
Oh, yeah.
And at that point in time, I didn't even know what the flaming word meant. Let alone that what the heck was I getting a whipping for? I was repeating something that my brother had told me. I
think that was one of my nephew's first word, because that's what his parents said at the time. He had no idea what he was saying. It was kind of cute, but at the same time. So,
it's the way things have changed over time. It really has. And it's just something that I cringe when my daughters use it. And I use it a lot more now than I ever used to. It's just something that we bring into what is our everyday, and we don't even think about it, because it's heard so much around and about by anyone and everyone almost. So, it's common. It's a part of the colloquial stuff that we share these days, I suppose. So that's
I got shot off by my 15-year-old in the car the other day because some driver cut me off and I had to literally slam the brake. And I went, "You're just a freak." And she's like, "Mum." I said, "Well, I didn't swear. I put two words together."
Yeah, and the thing is, it's part of the energy that we're actually expressing too, because, that's what language is as well. It is an expression of energy. It's the vibration we're putting out. And I suppose you see sometimes the memes that come up in Facebook, if you can't say anything nice, don't say it at all. Or if you can't be kind, what's one of the best things to be is to be kind. And that's also in our language and the words that we use, because that's what people hear. And that's the energy we put into it. So if you really feel pissed off about something, you do express it that way, because that's what the energy is and the emotion at the time is. So, we just do what we need to at the time. Yes, I'm getting lost in all that, eh? Oh, dear. I can't remember where I was in a list now.
So we haven't started on questions as yet.
Yeah, we haven't yet. I get distracted. I go down rabbit holes a lot of the time. Cool. How far back are they? Have we got a fair list now? I'm not seeing the stats we used to be able to see in the back end of the studio too. Have you noticed the same?
Yeah, the amount of comments and stuff and reactions and all that.
It's not showing. So, and I haven't got my Facebook page open. It's not important. We've got people here who are wanting some questions answered, which is good. Thank you. Oops. And the first shake of the cards, the first shuffle, and I'm dropping them. Oh, gosh. That means, Kylie, you want some guidance on career and study. There's some that are really wanting to jump out at you. I'll clear them again. Do you want to answer what you've got there for Kylie first?
Honey, I look at the study, so I do feel like I'm doing a 4-year course. So whether you're partway through your course, I do get the reference to that it's about staying focused. I know there's going to be ups and the downs with that, and you're going to feel that you are a little bit bored with it, but I just get the reference to focus on the study, and that's where it'll be. I want to say keep doing what you're doing in the way of career at the moment, because the study will come in around work. So later on, so to me, you will step into that field of study. Okay, so just focus on that. Yeah.
And I finally figured out how to do that, bring this in, but I haven't got the camera set up. Oh, and it's not going to do it. Can you see see the photo or not?
No, I've just got the background.
Bugger. It's not going to work the way I wanted to. So I took the video off. That's why. Duh. Sorry. I took the video off. That's why it came up with the background. Now we've got the card. So Kylie, what you've got here, and I need to just position them a bit differently. I've got the camera in a different spot this morning. What came up was the 2 cards for you. I was almost going to pull the 3rd, but I was told, no, that's not for you. Change happening and moving from that darkness into the light. So I figure that with the career and the study, it's going to certainly give you some great insights into where you're wanting to move, as far as that's the direction it's going to be moving into, and it'll settle you into actually creating something that is going to be definitely your niche, is what I'm getting with that. So, and I think I do that. Oh, I've got to unsolo. These things that I have to, it's the steps behind it. Interesting. So that's what I've got for you. Oh, wonderful. So we'll go to what is the next question. Why am I so afraid to move out of this town? I presume you meant there. I'm a good proofreader.
You are. I can vouch for that. It's the unknown, honey. It's the fear. So to me, fear is just a false emotion that appears real. So I just get the reference to, when I look at fear, it keeps me grounded as well. So just acknowledge it, push through it, breathe through it, and I get the move out of town will be a positive move.
Yes, and I can bring that up and then solo that. And what you've got, I'm assuming that will show up fully in the actual full video that you guys are looking at. It's the masks. So, I mean, there's just so much happening around you as far as what you perceive and see as your own roles, that it is that fear of facing that move. Why am I so afraid? Why? It's the familiar. It's what you actually know. There's sometimes that comfort in behind what is the familiar, and that's the fear of moving away from what you know and wanting to actually continue with, because it's part of that comfort zone of who we are, and putting up the mask that, does that go that way? Oh, which way did that one go? We tried this out before, didn't we?
Yep.
Yeah. It's just the me that comes up as big when it's the big stuff. Yeah. So that's where that one is, though. So I'll drop that down. That's what I'm feeling around that, with the card coming up as the
I just
masks.
got stretched.
You got what?
Stretched. The card dropped out and went, it could go.
Oh, does it? I didn't know that. There's discoveries all the time on what different things happen with the Be Live. I really like the program. It's just something that I really love playing. Well, it's not playing. I mean, I do take it seriously. Honest.
I can enjoy it.
I love doing this. So yeah. Good morning. And do you see any major changes for my family and our life? Husband and kids, thank you. That's Fesca. So, and I'll solo you that while I'm doing this.
Yeah. Honey, I want to say look at travel. So I don't know if you're planning the overseas trip, but I just get a reference to look at Europe with that side of it. I do feel that things will move forward. I actually feel like you've been a little bit stuck lately. So whether you found that things have been sort of on hold or you're not, the frustration around that side of it. But I get plan the family trip. Family is strong. I get the reference to it. It's about knowing what you want and moving towards it. I actually are drawn to looking at hubby's work. So I don't know if he's looking at change at the moment around work, but I do feel there is change coming in around that side of it. But it's all positive energy moving forward, hun. So just allow yourselves to go with the flow, but certainly look at overseas with the travel. Okay.
Well, that's good. Now I'm going to try something different and drop your video out, Leanne. You'll still be heard, but just to see if it comes up with the ability to change around the little screens. No, it just brings me up. Hang on, let me do that again. I'd soloed you, hadn't I?
Yes, and you caught me.
So I've got it. We're off now. So what I'm doing, I'm doing the switch around of it. Oh, cool! It does work. So all I have to do is stop your video. We can hear you. I can swap those two screens of me and the cards round now, so that I'm in the screen. If I do my video down, what does that do? It's just the screen of the cards. We're learning all the time of how we can actually manage and do this behind the scenes part of Be Live 2 Studio 2. Very good program. What we've got here is I felt drawn to do the 3 cards for you, Vesca, and it is like it's the roll of the dice. Fish is abundance, and that's you. It's also meaning that in you and you're wanting to have things work right with your family, your husband and your kids. It's saying to me that, it does get quite busy at times in being able to manage that, but there is the right amount of resources and abundance, because the fish is to do with abundance and working together as a school. So the family logistics and management is happening there really well, but don't forget to look after you in that. And that's what I'm getting from that set of cards, okay? So I'll put Leanne up first, then close that down and put me up next and see if that changes position. No, it doesn't. We're still in the same lineup.
You should always go to that side, Ros, because you're the host.
Yes, the host, yeah. You said that last week, and I'm just playing around with it because I like playing with things.
You know that. That's how we learn.
It is, isn't it? Now, have we done one for Kim? Reading the career I'd like to go into. Oh, what career? If the career I would like to go into, it will happen. So if you want confirmation, I've got a yes too. I've just got hang on. I will just show that quickly. It's just the roll of the dice came up for you too. So, I mean, it will happen, but it's I'm feeling that's to do with the timing. So keep working at it.
Yeah, clear picture. We spoke about before.
Yeah, and Josephine. Oh, did I click it? Yes, I did. Oh, that showed up a bit slow.
It's a bit delayed sometimes. Hey, honey.
Yeah. So wondering, could you read that? Can you? Do you get that in the background?
Yep. Share the love. Hi, ladies. Would like to know what's coming for me in the next few months. I'm reading between the blue roller. You should see my setup here.
And I was just thinking, didn't I say that we don't do the future? But any guidance, the cards do give guidance around that. It's just that it's not something that you actually hold every piece of your energy to making it happen just because it said so in the cards. Yep. You get what I mean?
Yeah. Can I actually just touch on something else, honey, with you? I get you've got absolutely beautiful energy, but I do feel that others are pulling you down at the moment. So I want to say stay true to yourself and sit in that power, that energy, and be your happy, loving self. So whether you're just feeling a little bit emotionally flat or drained lately, I do feel that you need to protect your energy as other people are pulling on that at the same time. So they may not mean to, but they are. So I want to say when you're just feeling a bit flat, step back out of the energy, take a deep breath, ground yourself, and just allow things to flow. Okay, I get moving forward, there's positive energy with opportunities coming, and I actually want to put the study books in front of you as well. So know what it is you want and what you're working towards, and have that clearer picture, because now is the time to manifest that stuff. All right, but I get growth. You can put whatever you put your mind to, you can make it happen, is the reference I get with that. Okay. No.
And
Beautiful.
I'm just going to do the muting. The cards that came up, it definitely wanted the 3, so there's a commitment happening for you there, and I'm feeling that it is actually, you need to be putting more commitment to self, because although that's an older woman card, it's still, I'm feeling that that's more your future self. You did ask about what's coming up in the next few months, so, and the letter is usually something that you're going to receive as well that's in the way of a bit more of a personal type of a communication. So these days it doesn't always mean actually getting a letter in the letter box to what it used to be, but it's still a communication that's going to be something that means a great deal to you, and probably I'm feeling it probably is you, like a mother figure, someone that means that much to you. That commitment to self is what I'm actually feeling needs to be the more important part of what your experience over the next few months is going to be. Okay, and we move on to, there's another one. Sharon. 2 job interviews.
Oh, well done, hun. Yeah, I feel like I got to say congratulations. So I do feel that something is going to come from it. All right, so an offer.
I sort of had the yes, no, which if you had 2 job interviews, you're only going to get one. So, yes, you're going to get one of them. Which one is it you want?
What happens to me. You don't get one offer, you get 2, and then you got to pick which one you want.
Yeah. And the card, whoops, I've got to actually allow the video to happen. I moved the position so that the light was better, but it's not, is it?
No.
Oh, gosh. No, it's actually got a bit too bright. But that is actually the part of the card that matters is actually showing it is the 4-leaf clover. So it's good luck. Not a problem with that one. So easy peasy. And then we can go on to... Was the job interviews easy peasy?
It makes you wonder.
This keeps jumping back into that full screen. I like to have it like that so we can see the comment better. Would love to know if we're importing many more of our codes of light yoga meditation mats for adults and children. I'd love to know that.
Yeah, I get yes.
So that's a specific type of yoga mat that you've designed and ordered in, I presume, if that is how I said it. Is that how you read it, Leanne?
Yeah, I look at the marketing. So to me, I want to say it's about having the strategies in place to do it. Find the right people to connect with that can push your mats in that sense. Okay.
They will sell. And I have got a bit of a warning in this one.
It's around timing.
Yeah. I'll just pop that up. I'm just feeling it's to do with copyright. As I saw that little C there. Oh, gee. I've got to solo it. The fox in the hen house type thing. It just feels to me like there might be someone who's ready to sort of grab designs, copy, that type of thing. Certainly have it copyrighted and make sure that you've got those types of trademarks and things in place for it as well. So I don't know if you have already, but it's just something with that card. To me, that's what it's indicating. Do have that in place. Okay.
I think it doesn't matter what a lot of us do. There's always going to be copiers out there, but when it comes to bigger stuff, you do need to protect yourself. Yeah.
Well, you have something that is the fallback. I've got 11:11 on my big clock on the desk. It's fast though.
It's 11:08.
Yeah, the computer says 11:09 now. So time moves on, doesn't it?
It does. It is what it will be. It is what it is.
Yeah, Sharon's having headaches too. So it really, like you said, I think it is a bit the
Yeah,
universal
and
energy.
I don't know about everybody else, but like for the last probably 2 weeks, my ears are constantly ringing. So, and that's usually a lot to do with uploading and downloading of energy universally as well. So, I'm certainly am noticing it. Some days are more in heightened than others. Even with the earplugs in my ears, I can still hear the ringing.
Oh, right, yeah. I'm
Mm.
very fortunate. I don't get. Well, I haven't. I don't tend to get that type of thing. I suppose, because my vibrational energy seems to feel more focused on that third eye, and that is where I seem to get most of what I'm receiving is through that.
And that's the thing, we get everything. We're all different. We get it in our own way.
That's exactly right. And for others to be aware, it's not always just, Leanne is feeling that, I'm feeling that. Someone could be getting it more towards the heart center. It's just how, all the different ways we can receive it. Just be aware of how it works for you. Yeah.
It's just listening to your body, listening to what you feel, your senses, trusting is the biggest thing. When we go through downloads and uploads, we let it go. When I'm writing my book, it comes in downloads. Like I haven't touched it for probably 3-4 months, but when I do it, it's like 11,000 words in a week. So,
yeah, it is a bit that way, isn't it? When? Okay.
Yeah, I wish they'd give me the last download so I could finish the thing.
Well, you might have to be more persistent in asking them for it.
I'm not
instead of waiting for it. Just say, hang on.
Is it asking for it, or is it giving it the time to do it?
Oh, probably both.
It has changed because it's gone from the focus on the book to focusing on writing workshops at the moment. And I'm sure when the time is right, the book will come back. It's got 2 chapters to go and it's done. So, I'm so close, but so far away.
Yeah. Sometimes too, I mean, it is the perfect timing will happen for it. But sometimes I think too that it can be just that slight difference in how we actually ask for what we want, because universe is actually hearing. It hears what we say, what we ask in the most direct way. So, and sometimes it's just, instead of saying, well, I don't want blah, 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 what it hears is the last part. It's being specific about what you really want and really knowing for yourself what you really want. Now, which order do I want to do this? Oh, look, I don't really feel I'm in the right space to do the book yet, so don't give it to me. That could be the energy you're putting out and doing something else. Or, it's just, like you said, it's knowing your inner self as to what is next too. One of the questions we ask, what's next? So, and I've
the only
got
thing is, so she's seen 11:11 too. I got it as well.
I just missed it. It just flicked over as I looked up at the computer. Bugger. But I've seen it once. It was just the wrong time on the right device. Oh, goodness. Now I'm getting sidetracked again. Sorry. So, Ashton, I'm getting a yes. When? What are you getting?
I get yes. I get the next 7 days. I see the number 7 around it, honey. So whether I'm within the next 7 days or the 7th of the month. Okay.
And look what the cards was. Yeah. I mean, my yes is you'll get to your goal. That's what the mountain is saying to me. And there's the labyrinth, but it's 7. When you add the 2 numbers together, it's 7. So I figure, when you said that, I had to smile to myself. So.
the pacing back and forth at the moment.
Yeah. Oh, look, I'd soloed that, had I? Yes. Silly me. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So we've got that one. Looks like it. Oh, well, I missed one. Emma, having twins soon. You want twins, or are you expecting twins already?
I see myself having twins soon. No. I get no with that one, honey.
I get no. You want twins? I'm one of a twin, and I know it was hard work for my mum. Might be good in theory, not always in practice. But I have friends who are like, there was a few twins in our family. I've got cousins that are twins as well. So a bit of experience with that. So I'm not even pulling a card for that one because I'm not being led to. So we've got Danielle with a longer one. Do you want to read that one out?
Yeah, I'll just read around my blue ruler. Danielle, hi there. Oh. We are trying to see sell our old house. Will it sell soon? We have already dropped the price. We have been broken into and need security, plus my son broke a lock up last week, so money is walking out the door. Honey, look at your home and contents insurance to start with, because your laptop may be covered on that if you have that in place. I do feel that there are blockages around selling the home. As much as you want to move forward, I get you need to separate your energy from the property. So I quite often say to people, give gratitude to the house, the property, for what it has bought, and give it permission to move on and make lovely memories with a new owner. Sometimes walking around the boundary of the property and seeing yourself saying goodbye and detaching from that can do that as well. Because as much as we want to move forward, at the same time, whether, for me, I know when we sold our first house, it was like, oh my God, this is where I conceived our children. This is where we brought our children home from hospital. And there was that emotional thing. As much as I wanted to move forward and take that journey that we had set in place, there's still that side of it. So when I say look at yourselves as a family and who's holding on to that energy, when you do let it go, I get the reference to, yes, it will sell. I want to put sale this year. So whether I'm looking September, October, I just get the reference to look at a little bit later in this year with that side of it, but I'm very drawn around September, October. So whether I've got signing of the contract or I've got settlement around then. Okay, it's probably more to do contracts. All right. So I wish you see yourself putting that sold sign up.
Hang on, I've been playing here. I've my thingy ain't coming up. Oh, there it is. Done it. With the card. I'm trying to get that one. So like the cards. So if it looks like there's some funny stuff happening with the way I did it, there was. And I'm going to just drop down your comment because it takes a lot of room. But what I've got there is basically the scythe, the labyrinth, and the tower. So it's really, you mentioned things about stuff happening and the money going out. You need to actually take control, put your hand to the tool, and actually work on those steps that need to bring it up to a top condition as far as around and about the house. For it to sell, the direction of where you're going with some of those steps, it needs to be a little more methodical. I think with what's happening as far as your security and the rest goes, just build it up so that it's actually got yes, you'll have to spend just that bit more again to fix that, but it will. I am feeling it's going to actually sell. What timeline did you say, Leanne, there?
I felt like I was being drawn to September, October.
Now, why are we not both of us there? Oh, I cut your video off. Hang on. September, October.
Yes, September, October. Can I just touch on the security? We can also do things energetically. So you can see yourself putting your property in a big bubble, like a big shield, a big dome over it from border to border, and putting that as your safety, your security. So you're setting the intention that anything that shouldn't be there is on the outer side, and it's just the positive on the inside. So there's things we can do with that. It's incredible. I go to fairs and I see a line in the carpet where I don't want certain people to come near with their energies, as in other stall holders, so to speak. And it's funny, they don't cross those lines that I set in my mind. They walk on the outer of that. So we can energetically do those things.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I think
just before we go on with that, Angela is just putting up that her comments aren't being seen in the little screen. Honey, your comments are in the side here. I can see it in the background. It's just there is a lot of other comments as well. So Rosa is working her way through comments. So please know we know
that's this one. So there's proof that we can see them, but I'm still way up at the I don't know what time stamp. This is the thing with having a lot of comments. We can't get through them all.
And that's it.
It's just a physical impossibility. And it's one of the things, this show, it is a chat and readings. So that's what we do. I do try, when I've got some time in the day, I might be able to get back and do some individual random readings that I send to messages. If you've had more than 3, you won't be getting any more by that channel, because that's just one of my own little rules that I do. But if it's something, and it's not always a guarantee, I can tell you, it doesn't happen every week. So, I mean, it's just the potluck factor of this. I used to have it in a description somewhere, but it's something that I think with the way that the Studio 2 doesn't allow as much of the description in there, or I haven't put it in there, because it's actually the heading on the posts, isn't it? Not just in the description. So it's a bit more of a hoo-ha to actually go back in and put that potluck stuff in there, because it's what it is. It's like a potluck dinner. It's, go back to one of the old ones, you'll see my description there. I don't bother with it now. It's random. It is random.
Yes.
Just like this one, I don't even know what timestamp I'm at now. I'll just have a look. That's 10:59, that timestamp on that one. So you can tell I'm way back. And Cheryl, you're curious, there is a lot of talk of the 5G at the moment and its rollout and its effects on our emotions and physical symptoms. So what are your thoughts? Yep, I've got my opinion in that I think they shouldn't be touching it until it's actually proven to be okay for human health and animal health and the environment. But they haven't done that, have they? That's just my opinion. What do you think, Leanne, as far as the energetics go? I think it does affect us, yes.
Yeah, I think everything affects us. The technology, fridges, everything sort of has an effect on us to a degree or not. I haven't really looked too much into the 5G side of stuff. I do know there is a lovely lady here in the Adelaide Hills that has thousands and thousands of signatures, and a team together working and protesting against it as well. And she's very passionate about a lot of things like that. And, I'm each to their own sort of thing. But for me personally, everything's control. We look at the government, we look at everything. There's always some sort of side of something, if that makes sense. But I haven't really taken the time to understand it properly. So I'm probably not the best person to ask with that side of it. I kind of go with the flow more.
Yeah.
In that sense, it doesn't mean I'm running out to buy a phone with a 5G on it.
Yeah, I have done a bit of reading on it because it does concern me. And that's mainly because of the global nature of how they want to blanket the Earth with satellites out in space, without the health, without doing due, proper, thorough research on it. It's all for the almighty dollar and profits, and that's where no one really knows the effects of the electromagnetic field to the degree that the potential damage that might be. But we don't know, the studies aren't being done. And those who have done studies that are showing the damage, there's others who are hiding it, who are trying to discredit it anyway, because, the companies want to have their money. Just personal opinion, I should add. It is partly that.
Yeah, I think it's a sad fact in life. Everything is pretty much driven by money these days. So, if you look at the government side of it, you look at even the health side of it. Having a conversation with Don Tolman the other week, it made me realise, and I knew it was there, but I hadn't put much thought or energy into it. Even the health system keep us sick to make money, sort of thing. You listen to Don and what he talks about. So that's just a sad fact in life that, a lot of people are driven by money of some sort in one way or another.
Yeah. And even with that, as far as the 5G, just to finish on that, was that there are some forms like, now I can't think what they're called, orgonite, and some other little shields that you can get. There's some of that you can use that we're being told are helpful for the protection against those rays, the radiation waves. and that from it. So do the research. There is a Facebook page that's called Stop 5G Adelaide or something similar. I am a member in that. So it's due care and responsibility for ourselves. So
I've got organised here, but it's not on my desk. It's on the desk behind my computer. So I could have shown you what they look like. But,
there's things that you can do. Shungite, Orgonite, and something else. And I can't remember what. Prue Blackmore is the lady to contact to do with, and I can't remember the name of the company that sells some of that stuff. So anyway, we'll get back to the Kerry Ann's got someone playing mind games. Whether will it ever stop? Decide to have it stop. Don't put any energy to it. That's my first reaction.
Family members going to come unstuck, honey. So to me, and that's another thing this year. I believe that there are a lot of people out there that are starting to show their true selves. The egos are coming out, sort of thing. So just mirror the energy back. I don't see a mirror between you and them with a reflective side facing them. So you're not taking on that energy and you're giving, I like to think of it as giving them a dose of their own medicine, so to speak. So I agree with Rods. Don't give them the energy. Just let them come unstuck themselves. Yeah, I'm a big believer in people digging their own graves without giving them the help to do that.
Usually works very well in the end.
They got themselves to blame. You can't be bought into it, is my way of thinking. Hey, Theo.
Hi, Theone. Now, who said they swear?
Or moving those shoes.
Oh, yeah, and also, with her husband too. I noticed the post that was on this morning. Oh, hang on. What have I got there?
Because her son.
Yeah, no, husband. No, this time it was the husband.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I didn't see the whole.
Just a bit of a scare through the night. Who said they're swear words? Who believes have we taken on to think they are swear words? Oh, yeah, well, and that's right. It's an individual opinion. And
that's it.
That was to do with our chat. Yeah. And that comes down to how we react as ourselves, of what our past beliefs are too, and how we've been brought up as to what we're going to believe is, the labels we put to things. I'll still have those reactions because that's a fairly deeply ingrained one, and I just don't think it's necessary. But, anybody can say how they like. Not my problem. It's not my issue.
My kids have got to know that if Mum swears and uses that F word in a conversation with them, Mum's had enough. You push Mum's boundaries.
Yeah. I like this comment. That's rather nice, Theone. A good way to say it, Sandra. They are a sentence enhancer.
So true.
Or detractor, but look at the positive. Yes, they enhance.
Yeah, exactly.
Jessica, have we done one for Jessica or not?
No, I don't think so.
I know I'm way behind in the timeline, but that's fine.
Oh, yes, we have. Sorry.
Oh, we have. Right. Okay. Have we done one for Danica?
No. I know we said hello.
Upcoming. Been a rough month. Oh, here's someone wanting their future. No, I'm just
I've had a rough time. Do you know what? And this is the thing. A lot of us, and as I spoke about before, a lot of us have had the ups and the downs and stuff. Look at what it is that's coming up for you, honey, around that rough time. The energy, when you let it go and you just breathe and move through it, will move. Now, we have been, was it last night we had the black moon by memory, and there's all this stuff going on universally, but we are turning a corner, but we've had to bring up a lot of old shit, so to speak, to be forced to let go of it. So I do feel things are going to get better. Just breathe and see what it is you want. Have that clear mind of what you're working towards. Okay.
Yeah. And I'm actually feeling that this is very similar. It's a very similar, and it's also a similar answer as far as for you as well, Angela. So between the two of you, you've one comment under the other there. So I did bring up Angela's.
Angela, just breathe through it. Yeah.
And very much the same type of the card that's there. I'll just do that as the solo. It is the books. This one is not so much about study or anything. It is about those. To me, I'm feeling that it's the journal. It's the what you right on your inner heart as far as those secrets you want to express. Or, it is like writing Dear Diary. That type of a thing is what I'm feeling with this one. And it's, unlock that, so it reveals that needs to be dealt with. And then you'll get past the shit, basically. It will move forward because it's been brought to the light. It's been brought out of that secret space, and it's actually being dealt with. It's actually acknowledged, and it's moving on because of that. So that's what I'm feeling around that card for both of you.
Can I just ask the ladies a question, and this can go for anybody as well? I want you to look at what's going on in your life. You're both sort of saying the rough times and the darkness and stuff like that. Is it your energy? Is it your stuff? Or is it stuff that other people are pushing on to you? Because I quite often find doing this work, like I've said in the past, and I'm not scared to say that there is a lot of jealousy. No matter what you do, what industry you work at, if you're going to stand out at something, you're going to get that. But I don't, and I get a lot of people push their energy onto me. I sort of feel now, and it's funny because as a kid, my father used to watch Elvis Presley movies all the time and whatnot, so I kind of thought Elvis was quite cute. But I now hear Elvis sing to me, "Return to Sender." So as soon as I start hearing him singing that to me, that's my sign for somebody who's pushing their energy onto me. Rather than me taking it on personally, I reflect it back at him. So I go return to sender. So when I hear him singing that to me, I just know, don't take the energy on, protect yourself and reflect it back. So I want you to look at what's going on in your life. Is it coming from somebody else? Is it their energy being pushed onto you, or is it your own turmoil sort of thing? If it's yours, you just got to look at it. You got to bring it up. You got to acknowledge it. You can't keep pushing it down, because the more we push it down, the more it manifests. So the sooner you let go of it, the quicker you move forward.
Yep. Yes.
Okay. I love
well
Elvis
said,
Presley.
Leanne. Love it. Yeah. Yeah, thanks for sharing that. I agree.
It's okay.
And that's just some of those ways that we do receive our messages, isn't it? You've been given that as part of a tool for you to, when you hear it, well, give it back. So, and this one is more specifically for you, being the more experienced medium. I must do it one day, but not publicly, thanks.
I'm really struggling with the loss of my best friend. Anything from her. I keep reading about 4 words through the ruler. I must admit, I have a deck of beautiful Power Animal Oracle cards with a ruler that is blue tacked to the back of it, with my webcam sitting at the top of it. So I can have it mid-screen instead of looking to the side. It's just what works at the moment. It is what it is. But the writing comes up through the ruler. Okay, honey. All right. I do feel that she has passed not that long ago, so I do feel her energy is a little bit weak as well. For some reason with her energy, I've got to rub my hands. I don't know if she would get cold or if there was circulation sort of thing, but she keeps focusing on the hand side of stuff. Okay. I do feel there's a lot of love and a lot of pride. You talk to her, honey. She knows that. So I need to acknowledge that. So also, I always say to my clients, trust what you feel, you think, you see, you hear, you know, because that's how spirit is basically going to communicate with you. So I do get the reference to she is letting you know she's around. I even want to say to the extent of look at the dreams, look at the feelings. It could be even the daydreams at times that you are getting messages from her. Okay. I need to acknowledge the number 7 too. So I don't know what the importance is to the 7th, whether I'm looking at the 7th of the month or the 7th month, or there's patterns in the 7, but I do feel the number 7 is coming up around her as well. Okay. Did she lose an earring? Because all of a sudden she's drawn me to the earring. So I don't know if you know what she's talking about, but she's just making reference to the loss of an earring. Okay. So whether there was a beautiful set she had and she's lost one and there's only one found since her passing, I just need to acknowledge that. All right. So sending and healing as well.
Yeah, feeling it a very peaceful feeling around that, just from the bit that I'm getting. So, it's quite a nice lot of it's just peace. Yeah. And I was just looking quickly at the next couple, and the Theonies did pop up into the focus. Too scared to ask about the hospital admissions, whether they're going to stop soon. So surely today's energy and the end of the retrograde and the new black moon has to bring a turnaround. So there's the reference to the black moon. So you're right. Yeah, I hadn't read that yet. So yeah.
That's around hubby. All right.
Yeah, it's around hubby, I think.
What is he pushing himself too hard at the moment? Because I literally feel like he's pushed his body a bit too far. So whether he hasn't been listening. I also get the reference to look at the blood levels. So whether there's a bit of, I kind of feel like I've got toxins. I don't know if his body's releasing toxins and they're showing up in the blood. I do get the reference to we will find balance with this. So yeah.
Oh, whoops, and I better put the video up, turn the video on for that one. It's just the card is bear, which is strength. So, yeah, just stay strong and
look forward.
Yeah, movement
Looking forward, honey.
So with that
it's just a hiccup in the road.
And we've got one from a Missy Worrell. We might make that one the last one. It's 5 minutes past, so.
We've got the cards in there. Ros, you're not in there.
Oh, that'd be right. Now, how come I'm not there? Because the card was with nothing on it. Yep. Sorry. I'm
watching from Virginia in the USA.
A question. I mean, it's so yeah. Hello, ladies. I have a question. My brother, he died from cancer. You'll watch. Yeah, but what was the question? The question isn't actually there.
Through and see if there's another.
See what? And I don't know if we actually did Angela's either. So it's Missy. I can't see an actual question. So I might get to Angela's. Her message wasn't seeming to appear on. Did we actually have hers?
Can I just touch on Missy? Yeah. I get Missy. Your brother is very much around you, and I need to acknowledge the celebration that has literally just been or about to be. So whether it's birthday or the family coming together, he just wants to acknowledge that. But I do feel there's a lot of love. He's got his hand on his heart. He knows how much he's missed. And the hand on the heart is my sign for love and pride for you as well with that. So please know he's very much around you. I need to acknowledge the chain with the medallion on it or the medal with the scribing on it, okay? So I don't know if that's yours or it was something he wore, but he wants to acknowledge the necklace with the medallion on it. You're playing with your chest too.
Right. Yeah, I needed to touch that. So, yeah. And it was just before you'd said it. So,
I don't know if it's as big as what Ros's jade
Taurus
is there, but I just I feel like I've got the coin on the chain with the subscribing on it. I don't know why I need to put my hands on my ears either, so I don't know if you hear his voice at times. So can I leave you with his love, Sunny, and thank you for joining in.
Beautiful, thank you for asking. Yeah, I did say that was going to be the last one, but this one just caught my eye. Will my review hearing be successful? Many thanks. I just got a yes as I was passing through that. So, yeah, that's why I thought, well, we'll just finish on that note. A lovely positive note. So it feels all good. And thank you for those of you who are here today in the live. It's wonderful that we can share with this technology the way that we can actually share energy and do readings for people and just chat in general, because we do sometimes isolate ourselves, and I'm guilty of that at times too, isolating myself into being more the hermit than getting out and about. Not so much because I suffer anxiety. I don't think it's that, although I have. It's just, it's such a comfortable space when you know yourself.
And that's comfortable, Ros.
Yeah, it is. You don't have to interact with people that way out in the real life. It's funny. We can do that sometimes, and this is my way of actually moving it out there to the public. I do it by internet. I do actually go outside the house at times too. So it's just a lovely way to share, and especially because I enjoy your energy and your company on the Tuesday mornings and any other time actually. Not often enough at times.
I got yours too. We've still got to do that lunch date.
So, yeah, we do. Yeah. So it's wonderful. Thank you to those who are making live comments and sharing it out. We do appreciate it. And even as the recording, it's wonderful to have comments still afterwards as well. You can, I mean, I don't know whether there'll be time for me to actually go back in and answer some of the questions we missed because, number one, I do forget which ones I've actually answered. But it's also, there are other things to do in my day as well. Is there anything you wanted to finish on, Leanne, as far as what's coming up for you, or just something to finish on, basically? Yeah.
Just before I do go on to that, I just want to add to what Ros says, and I just want to thank everybody for the lovely comments that you give to each other and the support that you do in the background here as well. So, I'm seeing people thank each other, and even in other shows I see a lot of support and love that goes on between strangers. So thank you for that. Coming up, what have I got? I've got a show in September I'm going to jump here, there and everywhere in my dates now. A live show in Salisbury where tickets are on sale now. I have a drum making workshop coming up in October for North Adelaide, which there are only limited spots, and I think there's about 6 left at the moment. My beginners online workshop level 1 is going live again online and in class, so we've got that going on as well. So there's a lot going on, but check out my events page on my Facebook page, Leanne Winston Psychic Medium, or my website, because it's all up there. So.
Yeah, and that'll be, the links are not in the description that I've got there anymore because the Studio 2 changed that a bit. Yeah, just do the search. I mean, just search Ros Boundy for me. You'll find it somewhere on the internet completely.
We're everywhere.
Look, thank you so much, and we'll see you next week at 10:30 South Australian time, which is Australian Central Standard Time. We haven't hit daylight saving yet, so thank goodness. But we'll see you then. Oh, time's rolling ahead fast enough. It'll happen.
It is. It'll be Christmas before we know it. I've actually put a Christmas show out there this year. I have set that this week.
I don't plan forward enough for that. It's just not where my mind's at. It's not the me. So, things happen in the flow. So when it comes up to it, that's when you'll hear it, see it, and join in. So continue to share what you feel is needed for others and etc. And we'll see you next week. So I better finish that. Otherwise, we're going to keep on going and going and going.
We will. It'll be 12 o'clock.
See you, everyone.